Hi, I'm Matt Gamse. For those of you that I haven't met, I'm the CEO and one of the founders of Meritas. First, I want to congratulate you on a really smooth beginning of 2012. In addition to working with teachers all over the world, I'm also a parent of 3 children. 2 of my kids are school age and going to brand new schools this year, so I really understand the chaos associated with the beginning of a new school year. Many of you have given me the feedback that you want to know more about what's going on at your sister schools all around the world. Today we're going to do an update, and we'll do similar updates every 3 months or so that you can feel much better connected to your sister schools. Our agenda today is pretty simple. First, I'm going to review what happened in 2010-2011. It was a great school year and it really deserves some highlights. Then we'll move on to what's going to happen this year in the 2011-2012 school year. Finally, I want to review some of the common projects that we're working on across the Meritas family of schools. 2010-2011 was a truly amazing year across Meritas. First, let's look at our academic outcomes. 4 of our schools today have seniors that are going on to university. 3 of them sent 100% of their students to their top choice universities. A truly, truly amazing outcome for our fundamental promise to our parents and our students. Let's look at North Broward. North Broward had students this year go to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Cornell, Columbia, Stanford, Northwestern, Vanderbilt, to name just a few. In Switzerland, CDL is also proud of its truly amazing academic outcomes in 2010-2011. CDL has a pretty tough job. It teaches many different curricula, so I'm even more impressed at their amazing academic outcomes. Additionally, we had a new school join our family, the Claremont Preparatory School in Lower Manhattan. Claremont's a fairly young school. It educates around 500 students. We want to welcome Claremont to the Meritas family of schools. I can remember several years ago when our residential program was literally just 16 students at North Broward. We saw a milestone in our residential program with over 500 boarding students in the US and 230 in Switzerland. It's a dynamic program where top students from around the world come to our schools to get a great international education. Now let's move on to our schools. First stop, New York City. I mentioned earlier that we welcomed the Claremont School to the Meritas family, while Claremont has decided to change its name. From now on, Claremont will be known as the Lower Manhattan Preparatory School. The school also welcomes 2 very experienced leaders to take the helm of the school. Gerard Witter will be our new managing director, and Drew Alexander comes from Moscow to be our head of school. Good luck. I want to highlight the accomplishments of Gary Schwartz. I've gotten to know Gary over the past several months. He's the head of the visual arts program at Lower Manhattan, and you also know that he has probably the most beautiful room in all of Meritas. His view overlooks the downtown harbor and the Statue of Liberty. Well, from this perch, Gary has succeeded in having several of his own pieces of art being exhibited at the Hopper House Museum. I hope all of us get the chance to go to Manhattan and see Gary's work. Let's move on now to South Florida. At the North Broward School, Kyle Seville, who's a senior, received the David Schick Award from Operation Smile for his participation in an international mission to India. Congratulations, Kyle. Also, I want to recognize our National Merit semifinalists, Ashlyn Bishop, Neil Desai, and Olivia Valdez. As we all know, this is a very competitive program. There are over 1.5 million applications to be a National Merit finalist every single year, so these students have really become part of a very exclusive club. In our pre-kindergarten and kindergarten, we're really excited to announce that we're going to be using iPads this year at North Broward. Now, I know many of you are also beginning to use iPads, so I hope you reach out to North Broward to find out what's working for them and what isn't working for them. Now we'll move a little north to Windermere Prep School. Windermere Prep continues to be recognized as one of the top schools in its area. Today we welcome its 1,000th student, Georgie Taylor. Welcome to Windermere. Students, faculty, and staff recently gathered for the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Learning Commons. It's set to be completed in February of this year, and it's based upon the Learning Commons at North Broward. Rancho Solano has a very long history of being a top school in Phoenix, Arizona. I want to recognize a couple of people that have been there for an extraordinary period of time. First, I want to recognize Marcia Nielsen. Marcia's been with us for over 25 years. Marcia, thanks for the service. Ishan Ranjan is our first student to attend Rancho for over 15 years. The reason I highlight these 2 people is because I personally feel that being able to retain teachers and students for such long periods of time really is a testament to the dedication and commitment of everyone at Rancho Solano. You may not know this, but Lake Mary is becoming recognized as one of the top destinations for residential students from around the world. To help support this really important program, University Hall, a new boarding residence at Lake Mary, celebrated its grand opening with the mayor of Lake Mary, David Mueller, in attendance. As a former and frustrated debater myself, I want to congratulate the debate team at Lake Mary. They continue to be recognized on a national level. Reagan Campbell and Peter Melios went undefeated in the policy debate at the National Forensic League qualifying tournament. This means that they're now qualified to compete at the NFL National Tournament. Good luck. Lake Mary's charity, Feeding Children Everywhere, was chosen as the charity of choice at the 2011 Meritas Student Government Summit. So they will be the philanthropic focus for all Meritas schools over the next 5 years. This is a really important organization, and I look forward to working with them. So, how many of you have been to China? If you haven't, I highly suggest you make it to our school in China, the Le Mans International School. The school has already been established in its short history as the premier international school in Southwest China. It also recently won the International School Swimming Championship. It's a really great team, and I hope you all make it to China soon. So let's move on to Switzerland. Collège du Le Mans in Geneva, Switzerland welcomes a new headmaster, Yves Tazet. Yves was the headmaster at the Lycée Français in New York, so he's very familiar with the curricula that they teach at CDL. CDL is also now opening a bilingual program in grades 4 and 5. This means that in addition to teaching in French and in English, we now have a bilingual program. Very exciting for the students and families at CDL. Like their colleagues at North Broward, CDL is also taking the opportunity to implement iPads. CDL, however, is concentrating the program for IB1 students. Again, I look forward to seeing how it goes. At the Henderson International School in Las Vegas, they work really hard to ensure that students are learning not just in the classroom, but also outside the classroom, providing a really vibrant educational environment. For example, our 4th and 5th graders, they'll design meals for the Las Vegas Rescue Mission to help the homeless. Other Henderson students recently headed off to Astro Camp in the San Jacinto Mountains of Southern California. It sounds like fun to me. These types of trips really benefit our students by taking them out of the traditional learning environment and exposing them to diversified learning experiences. Let's now move on to the Village School in Houston, Texas, where we have even more National Merit semifinalists. Congratulations to Angus Lewis and Luke Versamas for joining this really exclusive club. I want to highlight Shaquille Cleary. Now, Shaquille is a Village senior, and he's recently ended his recruitment and committed to Maryland to play basketball next year. Shaquille is a 4-star player with ESPN and Scout. Shaquille, we all wish you the best and look forward to following your success. San Roberto in Mexico is celebrating its 30th anniversary. Now, I was in Mexico to participate in the 25th anniversary celebration, and that was a fun party, so I can only imagine how much fun they're going to have at their 30th anniversary. ISR will receive a Community Service Award at Tri Association in Panama in October for the hard work that we've done with La Gloria. Based upon San Roberto's leadership, Meritas has worked with La Gloria for 5 years and have had a major impact on children's lives in this very special community. I want to thank you for focusing on this very important project and also congratulate you on your international recognition. There's going to be a lot of exciting travel this year for the San Roberto students. They're going to be going to China, to Italy, Canada, Orlando, New York, Wyoming, Washington. So I hope that the jet lag doesn't affect them too much and that they've got their passports at the ready. We think an important benefit of being part of the Meritas family of schools is sharing best practices across our schools, helping each other to get better in the classroom every single day. 2012 is no different, and we have many really important projects that we're working on this year to help our teachers and administrators. Through our employee engagement survey and many conversations with teachers and administrators around the world last year, you gave us the feedback that we could do a better job in providing professional development opportunities for you. So this year you'll see a lot more resources and a lot of focus on enhancing our professional development opportunities for our teachers and administrators. Many of you have given us the feedback that you'd like the opportunity to understand all the exciting things that are happening at the other Meritas schools. So this year, we'll be concentrating really hard to get the message out. In 2011, we sent 30 students to Oxford University to study democracy. The feedback was fantastic. The students had an amazing time. They learned a tremendous amount, but more importantly, it was a sort of experience that changed their horizons. We got the feedback from teachers and parents as well that they'd like to see more enrichment opportunities like this. So you'll see several resources come on board Meritas to help us understand how to provide these sorts of really significant enrichment opportunities for our students across the Meritas family of schools. As we've discussed, many of our schools have started residential programs, many of our schools have new high school programs. This sort of progress, of course, requires new facilities, so there'll be a lot of work this year on continuing to expand the facilities at many of our campuses. Residential continues to be a key focus of our organization. We're really proud about the progress that we've made establishing world-class residential programs. Now, we recognize recognize that this often requires a transition in culture from a day school environment to a thriving school that also incorporates residential students. So this year there's going to be even more focus on sharing best practices around residential so that we make sure that our boarding students are truly welcomed and have the opportunity to thrive within our schools. I hope that this conversation has provided you with an update about what's going on at your sister schools in the Meritas family. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing each of you this year.